based on those vision, principles, and values, can actually engage people from all different backgrounds, and even with the people from a conflict zone, and overcoming those hatred and misunderstanding, and actually working together to solve the problems and resolve conflict so that we can build stability, so that we can make a development and prosperity together as one family under God. So we are very excited because we want to share the actual practical programs and achievement that we made throughout the years. And we have 5 distinguished presenters here. And I'd like to first introduce the first presenter. He will share exciting activities of Malaysia, JPNIN. The first presenter is Dato Azman Amin bin Hassan, and he's the Director General of the Malaysian National Unity. Thank you. Director General of Malaysian National Unity and Integration Department in the Prime Minister's Department. In his capacity, he has built a dialogue with religious organizations such as the Allied Coordinating Committee of Islamic NGOs, the Malaysian Consultative Council of Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Sikhism, and Taoism, and the National Peace Foundation. He has developed local mechanism for interreligious cooperation through religious relation units and state-level community mediation teams. As a chief of the peacebuilding collaboration, he has engaged institution of higher education. Without further ado, please welcome the first presenter, Dato Azman Amin bin Hassan.
A very good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our eminent speakers, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. And today is an honor for me to be here to share with you what we have in Malaysia with regards to managing social cohesion and also the religious harmony in Malaysia. So within this 10 to 15 minutes, I suppose, just like to share some of our experience here in Malaysia. And I do hope from this we can actually, how can we collaborate with other nations as well and to be peace under one family under God. So what do we do? We're talking about sustaining harmony through national unity for national development. And you're going to have the introduction, what we do, and how do we measure social cohesion in Malaysia. But for your information, I think in the backs, we also have included a special booklet on what they call Unity Aspiration that's been published by my department. I think through that booklet, you can at least understand the whole thing about what we are doing here in Malaysia. But today, I try to focus on certain things that I feel that you all need to know. There's some background about Malaysia. In terms of ethnicities, we have the Malay, we have the Chinese, 26%, Malay 53%, the indigenous Sabah Sarawak groups, 11.8%, the Indians 7.7%, and others as well. And in terms of religion, we have all the big religion of the world is here. In Malaysia, we have the Islam, 60%, the Buddhists, 19%, Christian, 9.1%, the Hindus, 6.2%, Taoists, 2.9%, the Sikh, 0.3%, and others as well. And our country is small. We are divided by the South China Sea. And all in all, it's about 330,000 square kilometers. And with a population of over 28 million, we have 28.6 million. So just a modest kind of population in Malaysia. Okay, next, just a snapshot. I think I like to just move forward. I just focus on this big agenda. So in 1969, we have this race riot incident in Malaysia, whereby more than 280 people died of that incident, and happens in the West Coast, in Kuala Lumpur and other parts of bigger towns in the West Coast. But immediately after this incident, 1969 incident, this department was being formed on the 30th July 69. And the government come up with this bold policy, what they call as new economic policy. And this is a big milestone for the development of Malaysia, whereby the government have introduced the two-pronged strategy in terms of our national development. That is the eradication of poverty immaterial of race, number one, and number two, to restructuring the society economic activities not determined by race. Because actually, before 69, you can see the Malays are in the villages, they are paddy planters, the Indians in the estate, in the rail industry, and the Chinese normally in the urban doing business. So we are divided by race. But under this policy, the government tried to enhance the development, and how can we share the equity of the nation so that there's not much gap between the races. And if one race is below par than others, it creates a problem to this country. So government noticed that, and we have this policy. And with all this policy, we can see that education, be it cultural, social policy, youth policy, economic policy, and housing policy, all are focused towards national unity. That's why we say we don't have national unity policy in a small package, but it comes under all the government policies today in Malaysia. And it's very pertinent because that's how we develop, and under these modern days programs, new economic policies as such, until today, the policy still move in that direction. And this statement by our present Prime Minister, he says we must sow the seeds of goodwill and understanding in every corner of this land so that we continue to harvest the fruits of progress and prosperity for all Malaysians. It's a very important statement being made by our Prime Minister. And what we do in Malaysia, actually, these are some of the programs that is about promoting the culture of peace and harmony, instilling goodwill and understanding, building upon our shared realities, engaging one another to address disputes, and also resolving conflicts in constructive ways. So this is one, what they call the neighborhood scheme, or Rukun Tetangga, we call it in Malaysia, established in 75. Those days it was under the security concept, but now we have progressed 83 to neighborliness and 2001 to community development. And at present we have 6,441 neighborhood association or Rukun Tetangga all over the country, and involving 161,000 community members, but including the youth wings, the ladies wing, we come up to nearly 500,000 people working voluntarily under this program, and we cover the population of 15 million people in Malaysia, which is urban and semi-urban population. This is our strength, and our Rukun Tetangga is a community-based organization. So it's one of the huge organizations, the community organization that operates throughout the country today. Okay, the Trust of Community Development Program. So we have a lot of programs under this department. In fact, last year we have more than 185 activities run by this Rukun Tetangga scheme, whether it be sport, recreation, social, welfare, cultural, security, education, health, economy, and religion. So all aspects of activities that we run within the community, and we run it with the community as well. Okay, now we're talking about a voluntary patrolling scheme is one of the schemes being introduced by the government, by my department, in fact. How can we address the issue of security in this country? Because I remember the last few years, one of the concern issues in this country is about security, because about hand snatch theft, people breaking in the house and whatnot is on the rise. And people is a bit worried about it. And under the government initiative, we have the NKRA program, National Key Resort Areas. We assist the government. And we have this program whereby we have 3,872 schemes involving 150,000 volunteers who patrol at night, taking care of their own community. So we empower the community. We give them all the jackets, all the, here they are, the caps and the whistle and whatnot. They didn't have the gun, but they carry only the rattan. But to ensure peace prevail within the community. And actually, we did a survey actually, whereby 93% of the people who stays in our programs in the voluntary patrolling scheme feel safe. So it's we target for only 60%, but 93% people who stays in the area says we feel very safe when you have these programs. You know, we empower the community. So it's another big programs here. We inculcate the unity through kids, through our children, whereby we have kindergartens also. We have 1781 this year, involving about 42,988 children from various races who attend these classes. And through their parents also, we run a lot of programs, community programs, that will bind us together in Malaysia. And this is very interesting. It's about building peace. What we call a mediator community, we have here today, 2013, the total number is 874. They are community leaders who have been trained by our clinical sociologist, Dr. Wan Halim. And these people were the one to resolve any conflict that happens within their community at the grassroots level. And we are expecting to train every year 300 people of these community mediators. And now we may include people from other agencies as well and other NGOs as well to be with us, because we find out it's a very effective way of curbing the conflicts, the small fire from spreading become a bigger fire. And what happened was last year, more than 200 cases has been resolved through our mediator community. And we are having this case conferencing to train and to build up the confidence level of these mediators. And we do hope that we can achieve much in terms of assisting to build peace in this country. Okay, next. This is another interesting aspect that we are dealing. And we have this Committee for Promotion of Interreligious Understanding and Harmony that has been set up by our Cabinet of Malaysia. And through this committee, we operate with all the Muslim and the non-Muslim religious leaders. And the last 2 years, I happen to be the chairman of this committee also. And I found it very interesting because we have been sitting together and try to resolve all the issues that happen in this country, and how can we collaborate among each other between religious leaders in Malaysia, be it Muslim, the Christian, Hindu, Sikh, Tao, and Buddhist. And now we include the Baha'i also in this group for this year. And whereby every year we have lunch and we have a meeting with our Prime Minister to listen to his keynote address. But what is important is these people were engaged in a kind of activities, social activities together, and to enhance and build up the rapport and the harmony between various races in Malaysia. It's a big challenge actually, a lot of issues with regards to religion, but I do believe through this committee we managed to really control and do our best to resolve some of the issues within the community. Okay, this is a program, Unity Education by National Integration Research and Training. we have this E-Clean is our training wings of the department, whereby we train community leaders through mediation, and also we train our teachers and as well as our staff as well. And we have a lot of unity integration program. We have 56 this year, nationhood, ethnic relation, and whatnot, where we involve all the community leaders through this initiative. Okay, I just run it very fast. Wow. Okay. So in this integration program, we have the visits from East and West Malaysia. The community leaders, they go down there for a week. They have the what they call programs, stay with the community, and they attend all the sessions. And it's one of the most effective programs that build up the bonding between the citizens of Malaysia today. And we have homestay program with the youth. And for the last 2 years, we are focusing on the youth programs. And we engage them through all these meaningful activities. And this is another program, we call it Rukun Negara or Malaysian National Ideology. So the whole idea after 69 is how can we build up Malaysia as a nation, and we will try to achieve united, democratic, just, liberal, and progressive society. And we have the 5 principles as mentioned yesterday: believe in God, loyalty to king and country, upholding the constitution, the rule of law, and good behavior. And that's how we attack. We go through schools and also to all our institutions of higher learning. And now we have 5, 8, 11 clubs in all the schools throughout the nation. And also we engage also through universities, training college, community college, and polytechnics as well, 138, the numbers. And we did a lot of programs through the people here, our youth, and engage in a lot of programs and activities. And today they are part of our participants here. We do invite them also here. So a big hand to them. And I really very inspired to engage and involve with these people because they are very creative and very enthusiastic and try to run a lot of activities with collaboration of this department. So we have a lot of unity programs. I think you can see in our books as well. Cross-cultural program. This is one of the programs we did with Global Peace Festival Malaysia. Midnight football, we call it, off the street, on the ball. It's a very innovative program whereby we engage the kids who have problems in school. And through this program, they will become a good student and a very humble kind of a student who are very active in the society as well. So we have in Sentul, and we have quite a number of activities. The last few years we run, it's very meaningful. And we have Global Peace Leadership Exchange Program, especially with the Korean. I think last year about 800 Koreans came to Malaysia. And I remember first time when I introduced the durian, they don't know what is durian all about. I said, eat the fruit, the king of the fruit. And when they started to eat the durian, and they called their friends, from 50 people, 100 people, and later on it come up to 800 people coming here. And the first thing they ask, do you have durian? And we promote our local fruits here. And our brothers and sisters from Korea, we have a lot of engagement with the community. And you can see they enjoy their stay here. So we have linkages project with the community as well. So we engage them in creative and character building programs through Secretariat Rukun Negara. So there's some other linkages with all these youth programs. How do we measure? Just give me another 5 minutes. So we have 2 components that we measure social cohesion in Malaysia. One is societal stress index or social stress index, and the other one is social relation index. So the social stress index, here, the way we measure, we look at the terrorism and riot number of cases. We look at demonstration and protest. the numbers of attacks and quarrels within the community, and issues in the media that we managed to capture daily. And as shown in 2008, after the 12th election, the index was quite high, 27.9 per million population. And last year was only 19.9. That shows we are progressing. And in terms of numbers of attacks and quarrels, we can see it's greatly reduced because of our mediators that work at the grassroots. How can they resolve some of the crises and also quarrels at the community levels, you know? So this is a kind of a negative index, I should call, the way we look at it. And the other component is societal relationship model or index. It's more of a kind of positive index, how people interact, how they trust each other and whatnot, the collaboration between races. So we can see the score 1 to 4. And what we see here, acceptance is number 1. The worst part is number 4, the segregation, whereby people are divided. But we measure in terms of community and also the individual relationship with others, ethnic and community. And the score that we found out for this year, January to June 13, which were the 26 batches that we approached. The score was, for the individual was 1.4, that is very good. And also the community is 1.49. So the worst is number 4, but we are within still number 1. So it shows that our cohesion in Malaysia is still very strong in that sense. Okay, next. So we have this on the 25th of November, I think last 2 weeks. Our Prime Minister has set up this committee known as National Unity Consultative Council. And through this council, it make up of leaders, community leaders, the NGOs, academicians, politicians as well. And from opposition also, we do include them. And we do hope that under this committee, we will manage to resolve some of the big issues that arise in this country. And we're going to have 5 working committees under this committee. And the first sitting will be on the 6th of January next year, 2014. So the way forward, we list down of 10 programs that we're going to move forward. Okay, next. Okay, the last, I guess it's a very important message here from Reeve Jackson Sr. Malaysia, who profess many cultures, religions, and languages, must become one nation under a common umbrella. The many languages should bear a common message, because to grow, you have to tear down walls and bridges. That's very important. People cannot survive in their own little groups as Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christians. Those who live in one nation must find common ground. It's a very important statement to Malaysia. I'd like to thank you very much, Nandre, Zizi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Osman. As a good partner of Global Peace Foundation, he presented JPNIN's activities. If I can summarize it, with the kind of vision or goal of national unity through social cohesion and religious harmony, the JPNIN built the infrastructure, I think over 600,000 communities, and they have a community mediator programs, and through that they have a very practical programs. But it's really based on the principles, Rukun Negara, the 5 principles, and they have a clear measurement. They always measure their activities and trying to improve and see where their society is. So I think it's a very learning presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, give one more round to the Dr. Osman. Thank you. The next presenter is the Dr. David Yu Kyung-hee. He's the president of Global Peace Foundation Korea. He's also president of International Boxing Federation and KISA. KISA is a Korean International Student Services Association. He has been engaged in numerous athletic activities and programs. He sees sportsmanship like a fertilizer or soil for peace initiative. President Yu received the Medal of Merit from the Malaysian Awards Office in recognition of his efforts in the Global Peace Leadership Exchange. He received the honorary doctorate from Jose Rizal Memorial State University of the Philippines in 2012. Please welcome Dr. David Yu.
Good morning, everyone. So All Lives Village project is sustainable community development program. All Lives is not just an aiding project, but a program to build model village embodying the vision of one family under God. By creating a sustainable community development model through uplifting human spirit and dignity, and by applying various appropriate technology, and also focusing on creating better living environment and utilizing eco-friendly energy in order to improve the quality of life. And finally, develop capability of villagers through income-generating project along with the character education program. It doesn't work? Okay. So as you may know, among 7 billion human beings in the world, 1.9 billion people, around 30% of whole populations, live without electricity. And 4,000 people every day die. So that means more than 1 million people die because of inhalation of poisonous gas. And 54% of forest in the world has been deforested for domestic fuels. In case of Philippines, 94%. And in Asia and Africa, 50% cannot read and then cannot write. And lack of this education pass down poverty to their children. So we decided to initiate this project. All Lives Village project has 4 components. First one is technology, second one is education, and third one is self-reliance, and last one is partnership. So All Lives Village project initiated in February 2012. So it's just 1.5 years, still baby programs. But in 5 countries, we initiated 17 villages. Now we're mainly focusing on Philippines because, as I mentioned, now we really want to build a model community first, and then we can expand this one to other countries. Okay. So when we say appropriate technology, All Lives Village project develop technology applicable to a project site and create better living environments in the village around the world by providing appropriate technology, like a solar power technology, providing solar lantern, solar street lamp, and electricity generator using solar energy, and also water purifier. So this is solar lantern we are providing. I have this sample. I'm sure everyone already see this one. It's a really simple lantern using solar pad, LED, and using the solar beams, we transfer this solar beam into electricity. So using this energy for lantern and also radio. And we're distributing to the villages. How come it doesn't work? Okay. If you use this solar lantern for 5 years, then you can save around 1 ton of carbon dioxide. And second stage is to provide these solar street lamps. Once you have a brighter house, then second stage is to have a brighter community. So using also solar energy, we set up a solar street lamp. Basically, one street lamp for 10 households. So if your village has around 100 households, that means this village has 10 street lamps. Thanks to this street lamp, people can gather together even at night, and then this can cause a lot of income source. For example, in Kenya, they start night market. So at daytime, you can see a street lamp like this. So you can also recognize the impact of solar street lamp before and after. Now we start to provide electricity using electricity generator using solar energy. So we set up this generator at the All Age Hall in Philippines, and using this solar generator, we can operate TV and also DVD and small size of a refrigerator. So we put that pad on the roof, and we can preserve electricity. So since May 2012, local government of Nueva Ecija in Philippines, they start to provide electricity to 8 all-age villages out of 13. That means the local government focusing on all-age village to provide electricity. But even governments start to distribute electricity, but due to high cost of electricity usage, they still need solar lantern, solar street lamp, and generator. So we plan to provide more electricity generator next year. And also, they drink really contaminated water in Philippines. So we start to also distribute this simple but very effective water purifier using appropriate technology. The first stage is pebble and sand. The second stage, charcoals, which you can acquire very easily at local. But third stage, we provide this special closed coating by some chemical using nanotechnology, which can protect water from any kind of germs, bacteria. So once you want to go through the 3 stages, then you can have a drinkable water. And beauty of this water purifier is very cheap. This is only cost you around $7 or $8. So before they drank this dirty water, but now they can drink this clean water. The second part is education. When you say education, we have 3 components. Character education. So we develop independence and leadership of the villagers, and also to improve self-esteem. And we provide a lot of character education program by sports. And the second part is literacy education, to eradicate illiteracy rate. And then last part is technology education. So we provide consultation and transfer agriculture and industrial technology. For example, we're going to build manufacturing facility in Philippines for manufacture this little lantern within 2 years. So we transfer this technology into locals. So in order to implement education session, we need place to teach. So we start to build all-age halls. For building all-age hall, initially we donate around $3,000 from Korean donors, and villagers donate land to build on. Now we constructed 7 all-age hall and at the first stage, we educate staff and managers at the villages. So we really educate them. We train them. What's the purpose of this all-age village project, and what kind of partnership we need to make a model community. And we start education. In winter and summertime, we gather volunteers from college students, and with the help of Filipino students, we have an education session for children in all age villages. Provide character education through sports. And with the help of the Department of Education in Nueva Ecija, we also provide education session for computer. Since 1.5 years of this all-age village, 86% of villagers understand vision of all-age village program substantially. So people are more inspired to develop the community and live for the sake of others through character education. And 27.5% of the villagers learn culture of sharing and how to socialize. And then 65% of villagers are willing to put their own effort to develop their community and bring the harmony in the village. Using waste tire, we are making playground for children for education purpose. And also we make garden for playground using waste tires. Initially, when we proposed this project, actually the village managers are kind of against it because they worry about mosquito at the waste tire. But once set up this one example, every villagers want this this garden project. So this is one of the testimony from children at the village. Her name is Meo Masco, the second grader. And she said that thanks to solar lamp, she can study at night. And then her rank at the school was kind of middle, but now it's top 3. She says she want to become a doctor, and she really want to help people as she got help from all-age village. So, if you look at some statistics, for example, Kaiko Rotan Saito, before the all-age village, the students' national achievement test pass rate was about 67%, but after 1.5 years, the rate rise up to 82%. So that project impact on people there. With Department of Education in Nueva Ecija, we are providing alternative learning system for children and others who doesn't have elementary school education. So now almost 50% of adults, they enroll this program. And since we start this program, parents have been motivated to encourage their children to go to school. And 29% of villagers respond, they send children to school for character education. Now you can see the usage of this lantern. At night, they can read a book and they can study. But many NGOs, they send books, but in those kind of villages, the children cannot read a book at night because there's no illustration. But thanks to these lanterns, they can improve their academic skills. Not only for education, this all-age hall also functions as a center for town meetings. This center is for villagers, leaders to get together and discuss how to develop their villages. And the second village, we have 13 villages in Nueva Ecija, and number 2 village, they started community activities centering at all-age hall. They made the first case of community-driven development by cultivating vegetables in a community lot near all-age hall. And at the 9th village, they used this all-age hall as a daycare center, and residents can rotate work shift. Before this all-age hall, they cannot take care of the children at daytime, but they use this all-age hall as day center, so they can be more kind of secure. So this is inside of a hall, so children can get together and get education from teachers. So this is a feature of the all-age hall. And when we build all-age hall, every villagers, get together and build the whole hall together, so even inside. And the third part is income growth project. So once you have lights and educations, it's time for you to be self-reliant. So we provide kind of business model for them to be self-reliant. So we offer agricultural technology and facility, and also we support the merchandising network. So in 2014, with Philippine Carabao Center, Carabao means buffalo, and we already made an MOU to provide one female buffalo to each family in the first all-age village. At one Carabao, they can produce daily product and also organic fertilizer. So if we provide this one Carabao, the income will go more than 4 times. So this is now what we are doing. We are help villagers to produce this organic fertilizer using dung of buffalo and also dung of chicken. So these are chicken farms. So we are operating now 2 chicken farms and 2 goat farms. And we newly started housing project as well. With the help of Habitat Humanity, we started to build houses for villagers, around 120 houses. But this is not for free. As you know, free aiding never help people in the developing country to overcome the poverty. So even this house is not fancy, but still it's much better than their current house. So every month they have to pay around 400 pesos. It's about $10 to the government. So construction time is about 6 months. So they pay by working hard. At the economic model which we provide. So this is groundbreaking ceremony for house with Habitat for Humanity. So lastly, partnership. Even GPF initiated this project, it doesn't mean we are the only solo player. We need a lot of partners to make a really good model for community development. Now in Philippines, we are working with His Eminency Cardinal Rosales. He's a patron for this project, and also Cardinal Tagle. And we are working with the governments of Nueva Ecija. Through all-age village, GPF was accredited as a CSO and NGO and become member of the Provincial Development Council of Nueva Ecija. And also, key of this program is education. So in order to implement this education, we really need help from education department. So we made an MOU with Department of Education of Nueva Ecija. And also we made a PPP contract with Nueva Ecija. This code will provide for efficient partnership between Nueva Ecija and GPF in the area of funding and counter partner and the project sustainability. So we can use government's budget for building all-age village in Nueva Ecija. And this is the MOU with the Habitat for Humanity. And also in Korea, now many companies, they participate in this project. For example, Korea Security Depository, they already have their own village in Nueva Ecija, and Korea Exchange and Export Bank, and KB Bank, and many NGOs, and Samsung. They are involving this project in Philippines, Indonesia, and Kenya. And recently, we started a 1% donation campaign. So by 2014, we aimed to have 100 companies and 10,000 donors involved in this donation campaign. So medium and small size company, they already joined this 1% campaign. 1% campaign means 1% of net profit goes to All Age Village project to finance this project. Thank you so much. Outside of this hall, there's our booth. So if you visit there, you can have a more concrete idea what All Age Village is all about. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Yu. GP have a few signature projects like a character and creative initiative. And this All Age Village project is one of our signature projects. And as you see, it's not just a giving lantern. It's actually a comprehensive approach to build a model community where people can actually create a culture of heart, living for the sake of others, and really uplifting the human dignity. So we will continue this project, and as he presented, we really want to extend our hands and build a stronger partnership with everybody here. And please use your network and inspire them with this All Age Village project so that we can help more people. When there's a light and all the darkness disappears, and we can create a better world. With the All Age project, I'd like to introduce one of the exemplary community development program from Korea. As you know, Korea, after the Korean War, was the poorest nation in the world, but within 60 years, Korea became one of the 13th largest economy in the world. And how we were able to, overcome our poverty is one of the key initiatives is the Saemaul Undong, Saemaul movement. So we have a privilege to have the secretary of Saemaul Undong Center. So I'd like to introduce the next presenter, Mr. Myung-soo Cho. He's the Secretary General of the Saemaul Undong Center and also Chairman of the Board of Directors of Han River Forum and Secretary General of the International Leaders Union. He previously served as a Vice Governor of Gangwon Provincial Government and the Senior Secretary for Government Reform in the Office of the President of Korea. He is also recipient of the Prime Minister's Achievement Awards and the Medal for Merit from the President of Korea. Please welcome Mr. Myung-soo Cho.
Thank you. I'm very happy and honored to be here with you to present the special case of community development which took place during 1970s in Korea. I was a government official of Korea for 31 years, and later I moved to UN as a director of UN Project Office and Governance for 2 years. So when I moved to UN, I realized that one of the projects which I was responsible when I was very young as a government official in Korea was a very unique case in community development. So probably I believe that this experience can be a very good lesson for most of developing countries who want to develop their community. Let's start from talking about the ODA and poverty. So just like this diagram, from 1960 to 2008, the ODA is the international aid between the developed country and then developing country. So it's free money given by donor country, mostly developed country. So it has been increasing very sharply during these 50 years, almost more than 26 times. However, this is another picture that the sub-Saharan African country, in terms of share of global economic activity in per capita terms, has been decreasing in contrast with increasing international aid. So I think we have to find out what is the problem in here, and then what should you do to get out of this situation. Okay, let me talk about some other examples about MDGs. We have 8 goals in MDGs, but international organizations evaluation tells us that actually 6 of MDG goal cannot be achievable until year 2015. So actually this is a tremendous international effort to develop these poor countries. So we have to think about, again, what is the problem in here, and then what should you do to get out of poverty. So let me introduce some the Korean case. So we start Saemaul Undong in 1970. In 4 years, the farm household income surpassed that of the urban household income. There was actually a dramatic change which took place during 4 years. And at the same time, the Korea, which we can compare from 1961 to year 2010, shows a remarkable economic progress. Compared to other developing countries, this is a really sensational phenomenon. So I want to tell you about Korean experience through this special community development case. And then probably I'm expecting that we can learn some of the lessons from this unique case. What was the basic factors of Korean economic progress? So let me talk about Saemaul Undong. So basically the concept of Saemaul Undong is that it's a movement for new community. So it's not a rural development project. It's not a project for individual farmers. So the basic unit of project is community. And then because the community people have some powers to make its decision what to do and how to do, then they can do whatever they want to do. So maybe, about education, about cultural facilities, about the social infrastructure, so they can do whatever they want to do. Let me talk about a little bit about social background in 1970s. The Korean government started 5-year term economic plan from 1961. So after 2 times of successful economic development project, then there has been growing economic disparity between rural area and then urban area in Korea. So late President Park thought that this might create huge problem in Korean society, so something has to be done. So, this is a striking difference between those 2 areas in 1970. So in 1970, late President Park announced launch of Saemaul Undong at the Mayors and Governors Conference in Busan. And he said, without voluntary initiative of village people, your community cannot stand on your own feet. If you have self-reliant spirit, you'll be able to become independent with least support from government. So there is everything in his remarks about Saemaul Undong. So he is talking about mindset of the community people, and then it should be a community project rather than the individual farmers. Okay, first Korean government did was, actually they handed out 330 packs of cement to every community, every village. Actually, village people do not ask to provide anything, but government just hand it out. And then ask the village people, okay, elect your leaders, men and women. And then discuss what to do and how to do with this material. And the next thing the government did was actually, in order to change the mindset of the community people, they organized huge training programs for government employees, and then the community leaders, and then eventually to the leader of private sector as well, to change the mindset of the people. That its core spirit is diligence, self-help, and cooperation. And then the basic principle is do not ask community people to do something. Instead, let the people make decision on their own project, whatever it will be, with this material. And then government just supports in terms of the material or technology or financial resources after community make decision. So at the initial stages, most of community people are interested in renovate their community infrastructure, just like roads or wells or their housing, something like that. But later, they are more interested in enhancing community economy. So actually, government don't ask people to do this and this, but it's their decision. So this project was decided by the community people themselves, and then they have to pay something for this project as well. So usually, government will give the subsidy for 30%, and another 50% will be a government loan with a very low interest, so that communities pay back. And then other 20%, they have to pay for this project. So if the community people do not have any money, then they have to provide the labor instead, because it's their project. But after this initial project, the very important change took place in this rural village. So the mindset and attitude of the community people while they're doing this initial community project has been changed. So they realized that they can do it. So that was just right after Korea, and everything was devastated by the war. and then nothing left. So usually in the springtime, when they ran out of the food they harvest in the fall, they do not have anything to eat. So actually, especially rural area, they cannot have any hope in the future. But when they first organized this community project, the community people realized that they can do it when they work together with the community people. So this is, I think, is a huge change in the mindset of the people. So they do not wait until government come to their community to help them. And then they have mindset that they can plan and manage and develop their community. So after first year of this project, this community leaders came to the district office or mayor's office asking more support is needed. Actually, this is the first time that the community leaders come to the administrative office to ask for supports for the community project. I think this is a huge change in their mindset and attitude. And then government is focusing on incentives, competition, and expansion strategy. During the 1971 to 78, every village can have 2,100 packs of cement for their project. So at the initial stages of this Saemaul Undong, government usually provide material rather than the financial resources. So during 1971 to 75, in average, 2.6 kilometers of community roads was paved by community people. So they can have more cultivators. For example, during 1970 to 76, it increased 0.5 per village to 26 per village. So they can have a better productivity. So in terms of electricity, there has been a dramatic change. So usually this was government responsibility, but community people was asking, we have to have electricity in our community. So government was asking, okay, you have to do the same thing. If you do have some matching fund in your community, then we can just support you, okay? So there has been a dramatic increase in electricity as well. As for the food, one of the main food of Korean is rice. Then Korean government is adopting a new rice, which guarantees high yielding. So we can have enough rice, and then we don't need to import rice from some other countries at the time. And then in terms of farm household income, so in 1970 it was $824. In 1977, 7 years later, it increased to $2,961. So show a remarkable increase in farm household income. So this is the picture at the time that all the community people are coming out to organize their own project. So I can say that there has been, huge interaction between the local community and then the government, that especially due to the strong emphasis on education to change the mindset of the community people was very effective. and then government guaranteed the community ownership in the project. So they never intervene in any decision making of the community to decide what to do and how to do. And then usually government role is centered in supporting this local communities project. And then they provide some kind of incentives and competition strategy. So one of the important factor is actually the community empowerment strategies. Government ensure the autonomous decision making of the community people, and then at the same time, that community people is willingly take share of the financial burden, and then because it's their project and their decision, so community people will voluntarily participate in those projects. I think the most important factor is the change of mindset. Okay, so as I already told you, that government people realize that they can do it. Okay, they can get out of the passive mindset, helpless mindset, and then the diligence and self-help cooperation really become the principle of this community project. So, which will improve the will to fight against poverty. Okay, so let me tell you about the typical project which has been done by the international organization. So I don't want to name the special name of the organization, but one time I just watched a TV program. It was the documentary program about international organizations project in some Southeast Asian countries. So some steps of international organization came to some community in Southeast Asian country together with the government officials to find out what is their need. And then finally, after the making tour of those communities, they decided that the water is the main problem in terms of the drinking water or farming. So they decided to make a small dam in those communities, and then they go back to their office and they make a draft and then prepare everything for this project. The one step is bring those plan and money and come back to the community, and then asking community people to get together, and they made a presentation. Then this step said that we are going to make a small dam in your community. So tomorrow, if you come to the site and work for this project, we can give you some allowance. So after some months, the dam was established there. So as they originally aimed, that it was very helpful for community people to have the water for drink and the water for farming. The project was perfect. But what I'm arguing about is, after finishing this project, what kind of change took place in the mindset of those community people? Okay? If they have any idea about their future, about organizing another community project by themselves, then although this program was really excellent, but I think something is missing over here. Okay? So I say most of the development project, especially community development project by international society, does not have this change in the community. So through this Saemaul Undong, I think we can think about two main factors of success. One is we have to change the mindset of the community people to get out of poverty. We have to let them realize that they can do it. It is them, not we, who have to fight against poverty. The second one is we have to give full ownership to the community people to organize their own project. So these two factors, I think, can make huge change in a developing country. So I have some of the pictures over here. In some of the developing countries, especially Uganda, they are making a really good project right now. When they come to Korea, they just learn how to organize their own community project. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
I would say the key point is really ownership. Once you change attitude, then you change behavior, then you will change your destiny. Thank you very much. Before we go to the next presenters, I'd like to show a short video of GPF, what we are doing and what is our message. So please watch our short introductory video about Global Peace Foundation.
For millennia, human beings have longed for peace, yet peace eludes us. Even as education, technology, and the global economy have developed, we have failed to overcome violence, hatred, and war. Over the years, pioneers of positive social change have shown that the most extreme conflicts and injustice can be healed when we work from a shared vision expressed in moral action.
A new paradigm for peace.
Peace begins when we recognize that we are all part of one human family. The work of the Global Peace Foundation is guided by the vision of one family under God. GPF pursues this dynamic vision through three main avenues: building interfaith partnerships, strengthening families and communities, and advancing a culture of service. GPF sees faith not as an obstacle to peace, but as a vital resource. By connecting people to their divine source, faith leads us to understand that we are endowed with equal value and share a common spiritual heritage. Based on these common principles, GPF enables people of different faiths to work together for the common good. Such projects help to heal hostilities and bring reconciliation. The role of the family is vital in building and maintaining a peaceful society. The family offers a model of mutual care and benefit where each individual can develop as a person of value. Family breakdown threatens this model and the development of future citizens of good character. That is why GPF supports initiatives that empower families and communities. Through serving others, we experience personal transformation and character growth. Serving together breaks down barriers dividing communities, creating new bonds of heart between them. At the same time, it helps us to develop a sense of responsibility for the wider society and world, and become people that can bring about social transformation. The projects GPF has launched offer models for implementing this commitment to interfaith cooperation, family strengthening, and the culture of service. The Character and Creativity Initiative is pioneering a new approach to education in the developing world. It engages teachers, students, parents, and local communities in promoting a school culture that nurtures moral character and promotes entrepreneurial skills among students. In Kenya, where the initiative was launched in partnership with the Ministry of Education, research has shown that discipline problems and absenteeism decline, academic performance improves, and the school culture becomes more harmonious. Community development projects, such as the All Lights Villages, bring solar lighting to rural communities without electricity. Street and home lights enable children to study at night, reduce the health risks of kerosene lamps while saving money, and create a more secure environment. The lamps are the spark for a comprehensive approach to rural development. Clean cook stoves, simple water purification systems, and the support of international volunteers for community projects help create more integrated and self-reliant communities. The Global Peace Foundation reaches every continent, hosting artistic and cultural celebrations as well as service projects. Festivals have been celebrated in the Americas, in Asia, in Pacific Island nations, in Africa, bringing together people of diverse backgrounds and every level of society. Partnering with the host nations and a vast network of grassroots organizers, GPF encourages local ownership of these international gatherings. As a result, a number of new initiatives have been launched that engage an ever-widening circle of people in values-based peace-building projects. From the village level to the highest national and international spheres, these autonomous projects are touching lives and transforming communities around the world. Culminating each year's activities is the Global Peace Convention, where participants share insights about existing activities, learn from the innovative efforts of others, and plan new initiatives to carry the vision forward. Here, policymakers and grassroots leaders discuss moral and innovative solutions to issues of regional conflict, environmental problems, and lack of education and economic opportunities. The power of this unique approach to peace building inspires participants to take greater responsibility in their societies. Outstanding leaders and volunteers around the world are tackling the toughest challenges facing their societies, empowering others, and finding innovative solutions.
The Global Peace Foundation is leading efforts for peace based upon a spiritual vision expressed in the simple yet profound phrase, one family under God. This vision's transformative power comes from the fundamental truth that all people, regardless of race, religion, nationality, tribe, or ethnicity, are all spiritual beings who share a common heritage in one God or Creator.
The Global Peace Foundation invites men and women of all faiths, all nations, and all walks of life to join together in the greatest endeavor of the 21st century, building a world that can live as one family under God.
Thank you very much. Next is the strategic partnership of Global Peace Foundation throughout the world. So I'd like to introduce the presenter, Dr. David Caprara. He's the Vice President of Strategic Partnership with the Global Peace Foundation in Washington, D.C. He's also non-resident fellow on the International Volunteering and Service at the Brookings Institution and board member of Africa Conference on Volunteer Action for Peace and Development. He previously served as a Deputy Assistant Secretary for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and as a Director of Faith-Based Initiatives at the Corporation for National and Community Service. Please welcome Dr. David Kapura.
We say Kamsahamnida and Hamjambo, and all protocols observed. We've already introduced most of our dignitaries, but last night we had a special dignitary arrive from the Republic of Korea, the Honorable Kim Jae-yoon of the National Assembly of Korea. If you could please stand, also a member of our National Leadership Council. Thank you. And when we think of strategic partnerships, I believe I see Dr. Mohammed Singh, the CSR Chief of Malaysian Airlines. Are you still here, sir? Could we have our Malaysian Airlines friends please stand? Let's just give them a round of applause. We really appreciated their leadership in this conference. I'm going to speak to you briefly about our efforts in GPF to do what our chairman calls connecting the dots between some of our initiatives so that we can leverage each of your assets in our regions through leadership networks with a particular emphasis in this case on young leaders and service. We heard with President Mauricio, I think already, the launch of the Latin American Presidential Mission with 20 former heads of state. Last year, they met at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta, Georgia, during our convention, promoting a unique model of cooperation across the hemisphere. There are now approximately 20 former heads of state involved. This is at the Jimmy Carter Center in the upper right last year. Backing these leadership networks up is good scholarship and think tanks. So we want to invite you. Are there any academics, academia, research? I see Dr. Leah Marengo with African Nazarene. We value the power of scholarship. Our partner here, University of Malaya, working together, whether you want to build a new think tank research group in your region or network virtually and otherwise with scholars like Dr. Kwak from Korea and their think tank to drive many of these engines of leadership. So think tanks and research institutions are very important partners to document success. The Africa Leadership Mission took a page from Latin America and developed just last month in Nigeria. By the way, are there any Nigerians in the house? Let me hear from Nigeria. Are there any Ugandans in the house? Are there any Kenyans in the house? I think I hear our Africa family there. So congratulations. They launched the Africa Leadership Mission on peace building, young leadership and service just a couple of weeks ago in Abuja, Nigeria, with His Excellency Obasanjo. We have his special assistant over here, Bishop Mosquito, very famous man. KK, one of the most famous founding fathers of Africa, next to Madiba, Nelson Mandela, is His Excellency Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia, Sir James Manchin of Seychelles, President Gurma of Ethiopia, and President Karume of Zanzibar. These all gathered together and they called it the Mission on Peace Building, Young Leadership, and Service. They also acknowledged the critical importance of multi-sectors, including the private sector led by Dr. Mano Chandaria and the United Nations. Dr. Markandi Rai, if you could please stand, for leading the effort to bring this agenda to the UN. I also want to acknowledge the Africa Regional Representative, Mr. Inchu Choi, if you could please stand. Jae-yoon Kim that works with him, and Daniel Juma, please stand. Is Milton here from Uganda, and John from Nigeria. These are our Africa Leadership Group. Nelson Mandela said, Madiba, I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. You know, Archbishop Desmond Tutu was his partner in so many acts in the liberation movement, and he too has a book that's called God Has a Dream, We Are Family. It's the same universal message. So I think Madiba's spirit here with us today is really projecting that. And I'm pleased to announce, Daniel Juma, if you could please stand again, our Kenya director, it was announced just yesterday that they are dedicating the Africa Peace Service Corps to Nelson Mandela. When we think of a regional approach to youth leadership and service, imagine for a moment a youth peace service network throughout a region taking action along with programs like Mr. Cho's and the spirit of volunteerism that President Park unleashed in empowering people is a much more effective way at getting at these MDGs. Imagine them developing peaceful mechanisms of conflict that are rooted in universal principles and values, like one family under God. Well, in 2010, the second Global Peace Convention in Nairobi, Kenya, launched just that in East Africa under the leadership of President Kibaki and Prime Minister Raila Odinga and 40 nations, where they launched the East Africa Peace Service Corps in the declaration. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this afternoon at 4 o'clock, you will launch the Kuala Lumpur Declaration. And when we launch these lofty ideas, please know that we view these convenings as action-forcing, partnership-generating events. Right, Dr. Schuler? We didn't come just to put another book on the shelf. We came to put boots on the ground and to launch movements of action to achieve measurable outcomes. In this case, imagine in Asia, Latin America, and Africa, if you will, even a global approach to Peace Corps beyond the US model, but looking more at Latin Americans, at Africans, at Asians, programs like Saemaul Undong, programs like COICA, joining forces on 3 levels I would like to propose or posit. First, on the level of young leadership, do we have some of the Asia Youth Exchange people here? Nicholas Lee, I think Farley is here. Please stand. I want to recognize the leaders of the Asia Youth Exchange, together with Global Peace Youth Corps. Secondly, in the track of NGOs and corporate partnerships, I think Don Marquez, you're here. Please stand. He is a dynamic NGO leader, Service for Peace, hands-on Manila. Now he's going from here to Macau, China tomorrow, to network the action they took yesterday on the whole Asia regional level. So think about that. Youth are the ground floor, youth and social media. NGOs, companies like Safaricom in Africa, the mobile phone giant, is actually chairing the climate change, tree planting, environmental service track. Have you ever heard of M-Pesa, mobile banking? They invented mobile banking revolution. They are leading that effort, right, Dr. Rai, in Africa. So I want you to think about stepping up with corporate partners in CSR. And then on that foundation, we can say on the regional level, national agencies, again, like COICA, like Saemaul Undong, and regional government agencies like the East Africa Community. I'm pleased to announce, I'm sorry to keep recognizing, but Daniel Juma, please stand again with INSU. They've just set an MOU with COMESA. 19 nations in East Africa have just agreed to pursue a partnership with GPF on taking action. So then you go up to the larger level, like the Africa Union or ASEAN. And so when you think of those 3 levels, youth, NGOs and corporates, national and region, come on over here to ASEAN. We have how many nations in ASEAN? Is it 10? 10. Guess who's going to chair ASEAN next year? Does anybody know? Next October. Who's chairing it currently? How about Myanmar? Myanmar currently chairs ASEAN. Next October, the gavel will go to Malaysia. And Malaysia has told us, yes, give them a round of applause, especially Mr. Azam and your wonderful minister and team. They have told us we will take this agenda into ASEAN next year. And not only that, we won't stop there, because the United Nations, Dr. Rai, in Bangkok, as you know, is for the greater Asia, including all the way to Mongolia, China, Korea. So we would like to propose today and enlist you to get the United Nations Youth Envoy. I will get the Health Envoy and other envoys to Bangkok next June, that will combine the International Young Leaders Assembly approach and this volunteer action approach for a network on the greater Asian level. In Africa, they're taking action in 4 levels: conservation, environmental service, programs like the All Lights Signature Project, massive tree planting on Mandela Day throughout Africa has already happened, and it's happening each year. Bishop Mosquito, we've already heard about, launching health service corps through their great leadership. But that's just an example. Imagine Uganda alone. I believe they have 10,000 volunteers, health service volunteers, working in villages on basic life-saving hygiene. And positive peace is another one of the key tracks. Here we are again with Bishop Sunday Onoha, who is the leader with the Sultan of Sokoto and Cardinal John, the Catholic Cardinal. Now, this model was brought to our attention by the United Nations and the World Bank. They have recognized that this work that the Africa team has done in Nigeria Interfaith Action, along with GPF, is truly an international model. Just a couple weeks ago in the Philippines, right at the time of the typhoon, 15,000 volunteers were gathered, cleaning up the Manila Bay in the aftermath of the typhoon. And I'm pleased to again announce, as David Yu shared with us, there was an assembly of global peace volunteers launched, the Asia Peace Service Corps there in Manila, 1,000 volunteers, and they did the turnover ceremony. There's David Yu that just presented the solar lanterns. And David Yu and the Korea team are people of action. Within a week, they had these lanterns on the boat. They couldn't fly on the airplane because of a battery problem. They stuck them on the boat. And there's the Congresswoman at the turnover ceremony. Could we give them a round of applause? The fiery Speaker of the House of the Philippines, Jose De Venecia, whose wife, Congresswoman Gina De Venecia, has been with you, along with Dr. Chua, if you could raise your hand, the Philippine chairman of GPF, made this launch together. He's also doing medical missions throughout the island. So congratulations to Asia for launching it. I'd also like to say linking these foundations globally is a brand called the International Young Leaders Assembly. They met in the United Nations in New York last August, and this was a session with 500 young delegates. Were any of you there? I know I'm going to introduce one of them, was there in a minute, but this is in the UN in New York. Moral and innovative leadership, vision, service, entrepreneurship. This is Ban Ki-moon's new envoy, Ahmad Al-Andawi from Jordan, the new Secretary General's envoy on youth. This was his first meeting as the UN envoy, was the IYLA with 500 young leaders from this movement, and he's agreed to partner with us. He's done a video and will work with us throughout the world. You can see here, I want each of you to see what's happening here. Delegation visits. We charge each of you to meet your delegations at the United Nations, to meet your ambassadors, and to educate them about what happened at Global Peace Convention 5. This is the convening at the World Bank in Washington, right after the delegates were at the UN. This is the managing director of the World Bank, the keynote speaker, Sir Indrawati, the managing director from Indonesia. Nicholas Lee, please stand again. This is the famous Asia Youth Exchange leader, Nicholas Lee. And he's representing all the young leaders, 500 of them. We even had Dr. Schuler's son, Anthony, and others there last night. They launched the Global Peace Festival in IYLA to another level just last night here at this hotel. The delegates then went to Capitol Hill. Now, why are we showing this picture? Are you going home next week? Is anybody going home? Can you take a little homework and promise today that you'll go meet your congressman, you'll go meet your ambassador, put a delegation together, tell them what happened at Global Peace Convention 5, give them a copy of the KL Declaration. Is Ye Ching Lee in the audience? This is there he is, right here. He's the Secretary General of IYLA. And they had the China Youth Speakers Summit, and the finale was on the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's March on Washington. Yes, Barack Obama graced the occasion along with President Clinton and was the featured finale of IYLA. The closing ceremony, the graduation, was at the Organization of American States, the official convening of all of Latin America. There they are getting their awards, just a sample of the groups. It was sponsored by 22 missions at the United Nations. Ye Ching, I think we're meeting this August again next year. So can we double that to 40? Will each of you contact your UN delegation? How about UAE? I think we can count on you to take action to expand this global network of young professionals. And I close with saying that this convention in Kuala Lumpur was intended also to be a gateway, how we can reach out across Middle East, Africa, South Asia, in this greater region. And the United Arab Emirates is truly a great gateway. Together with Malaysia, you can see its strategic location, and indeed, the UAE Embassy in Washington hosted the International Young Leaders Assembly, when they came to Washington before the March on Washington, we had a lovely reception at UAE. Now, Dubai, as you know, is the front door to the world. And I'm pleased to announce that just a week ago, Dubai was officially selected UAE to host the World Expo 2020. Let's give our Dubai UAE, could they stand? Could you please stand? There's Dr. Omar. And Dubai, I can't just pass over. The City of Gold is truly an amazing city. There's the Khalifa Towers, the tallest tower in the world. They give great tours, by the way, when you go there. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is a global visionary. You must read his book, My Vision. I'll let our next speaker explain more. This is our meeting. To my friend Mr. Cho, we can see the Seoul Peace Prize was also there. And they reached out around the world to study the different World Peace Awards, and GPF's Global Peace Award was a recognized best practice at that forum with our next guest speaker. My last point is Dubai really has this wonderful hub, free trade zone. They believe in low taxes and global trade. Well, they have an international humanitarian city that I propose it even become a capital of the Global Peace Corps. More on that later. They have wonderful grand mosques. And to close this, I just want to thank the United Arab Emirates and our next speaker, Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Mohammed, who is the Secretary General of the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Award for Peace based in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. We were hosted by Mohammed. You can see Tan Sri Zaleha, our Malaysia chairman, in the spirit of goodwill to promote GPC 5 here in Malaysia last April. And so I'm very honored now to say the brotherhood between, and sisterhood we could say as well, but between Dubai and UAE and Malaysia and Global Peace Convention 5 is truly amazing. And Mohammed is also CEO of CSR Company International, Middle East, North Africa, and Dubai, working on corporate responsibility strategies and implementing CSR ISO 26000. With more than 20 years of experience in government, he was appointed as head of Excellence Awards in the Dubai government, trainer, speaker in both CSR, service, and quality, and most importantly, our brother and friend. Please welcome Mohammed Abdullah Mohammed, Secretary General Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Award for Peace.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, David, for this introduction. Thank you. Today I'm going to start talking about Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Award for World Peace. The award established in 2011 by the decree number 19 of His Highness. The announcement was on the end of 2011, which was, I think, put us on the newest or one of the newest peace awards or peace prizes in the world. Following His Highness' lead to be number one in whatever we do, it was hard for us to put a strategy that put us on a lead on the peace prizes or peace awards. So we worked hard to have this strategy. We had our strategy based on the creativity and innovation, and sure it will be done with our partners from around the world. One of them is Global Peace Foundation. We think it's an excellent network with them to have our strategy implemented. This is our aims. We have 4 aims in the declaration of the Peace Prize. First one is to honor all organizations and establishments that have distinct contributions to the cause of peacekeeping. And I'm going to talk about each of them in detail on the next slides. Second one is inspiring the world for achieving peace and prosperity. Third one is encourage entrepreneurship and excellence in global peacekeeping. Encourage peace. The last one is encourage peaceful dialogue between religions and highlight the true image of Islam. Excuse me. The first aim is the awarding itself. When we started, we had done a benchmark and a study of other peace prizes and awards from around the world. We found out that most of them focus on awarding people, organizations, or projects. We thought, why not adding nations to it? So in our way of creativity, coming up with a creative criteria or category, we are thinking to award a nation. With the creativity and innovation in our mind in both the criteria and the process of selecting the winners, and with the selected winners projects itself. So we always put creativity and innovation in our mind in selecting the winners or in defining our process. Transparency and sharing with people. I think this is the most important thing. Transparency of the criteria, the process itself, and sharing and getting the people feedback of this process to improve the process of the award itself. It's very important for us. We thought of one thing is making the selecting jury as large as we can to let people share with us the selection of the winners of the awards. Continuity is our secret ingredients in this. Continuity, what I mean by that is continuity on the impact of the win projects or people. Not only something happened and passed away. The other thing is continuity of reviewing, updating, and improving the process, as I said, of our award. The second aim is inspire the world for achieving peace and prosperity. We are adding to this youth programs and in cooperation with other youth programs and linkages, exchange knowledge. One important thing we find in our study is the missing point of exchanging knowledge and expertise between the peace foundations from around the world. Personally, I had a hard time searching for information, knowledge on websites or contacting people. Each of the organization has its own links and it's away from other organizations. I think this is why Global Peace Foundation have its own network and branches in all over the world. So sharing and learning with other organizations and experts and academics, I think it's very most important thing for us to build up the identity of the award and fulfill our aims. The third one is Dubai as a peace model. Dubai consists of more than 200 nationalities living together in Dubai, working together. So in a peaceful way, we never heard anything happening over there. So I think this is a point where can be studied by experts to see what makes it like this as a peaceful city. Aiming to make Dubai the world capital city of peace. Okay. Encourage entrepreneurship and excellence in global peacekeeping. One of our findings in the benchmarking and the study, as I said, we couldn't find a network, especially between peace awards organizations. And personally, I had a hard time getting them together. So we came up with this idea of the First World Peace Award Forum, just to get them together to study the impact of the Peace Prize and Awards and the future of it. And thank you, Global Peace Foundation, again. They are one of the first organizations who joined us and accept this invitation, plus Korea also, plus other organizations came in. Middle East Peace Index is our new project in 2014, and it's still under study. Global Institute of Economic and Peace came up with a Global Peace Index, US Peace Index, UK Peace Index, Mexico Peace Index, but somehow they forgot the Middle East. It's a hot spot at this moment. So we came up with the idea for collaboration with them to come up with the Middle East Peace Index. And I advise everybody to look at this index, especially the Global Peace Index. They have also pillars of peace that studies the countries and cities and what makes them peaceful. So it's an excellent thing that we need to pioneer in the Middle East and help the world with it. The Global Peace Hub, this is what I called it, is also our new project that will link all peace organizations, either awards or just organizations that supporting peace from around the world, youth projects. This will help exchanging knowledge, information from one hub. You can share your projects, you can share any need for a project, volunteers. Students can join in with their projects, academic projects in this network. So I think it will be it will have a huge impact on the future of peace. Still, this is the last slide. One of our activities, actually it's the main activity that was started before even the award had been declared, is Dubai International Peace Convention. First started in 2010, and the second one was in 2012. Amazingly, the attendees of this convention reached more than 150,000 on the second one, and it was around 40% increase from the first one. So it's a very large number of people attending this convention. As I said, this convention is in Dubai, and Dubai has more than 200 nationalities lived in it. 142 nationalities joined in this convention. And it's focused on interfaith, and we are hoping in the future to add more criteria or subjects to it. Now to the last slide. And thank you, Global Peace Foundation. Thank you, David, for giving us the chance. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Buhana. You can see the power of vision of 1 billion God, and also based on the framework of universal peace and universal principles and values, we can see how people from different backgrounds can come together and work together and use our creativity so we can come up with a more innovative approach to solve problems and resolve conflict. And there are so many exciting reports in this presentation, so I'm sorry about the little delay. I'd like to make a short announcement and then close this plenary. The next program, workshop, will begin from 11 o'clock on this floor and also lower level as well. And you can interact with many other exciting programs. There's a good program, so please select the best program that you want to attend. And 4 p.m. we will have a closing plenary here, so please come maybe 15 minutes before. And also, as I announced before this program, 8 o'clock we will have a Global Peace Award Gala here in the same place. So please come here by 7:45. And when you finish all the programs at the gala, and please return your translation equipments. And as I said, this is really an enriching experience for me to meet so many good people all over the world. You know, this vision for creating 1 family under God, and also our aspiration to build a peaceful and prosperous world really brought all of us together here and then build a stronger relationship and partnership so that we can reach out to more people and really work together and uplift the human dignity based on this spiritual vision. So let us work together. And next year, I don't know, I cannot announce where we're going to have a 2014 convention. It will be announced in the closing plenary. So wherever it might be, I hope we can see all of you together with a greater result, and we can celebrate our efforts and achievement. Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause to all our presenters.